3 government agencies are teaming up to make improvements along East Alabama's popular Pinhoti Trail.
Showers and thunderstorms across East Alabama this afternoon, and more could be on the way. We'll have the complete forecast details coming up.
It's practice number 8 for Jax State in fall camp. We'll check in with Rich Rod and the Gamecocks coming up in sports. EAN Local News starts now.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by WM Grocery, located in Heflin, Wadowee, Roanoke, and in Piedmont.
Good evening, and thank you for watching East Alabama Now Local News for Thursday, August 3rd, 2023. I'm Katie Edwards.
And I'm Mike Stedham.
The U.S. Forest Service has signed an agreement with the Alabama Forestry Commission and the state's Department of Conservation to create a new board to govern the 170-mile hiking trail in Alabama. AL.com reports that the board will oversee the development, restoration, and maintenance of the trail, which attracts campers and hikers from across the Southeast. During the signing ceremony, Governor Kay Ivey called the Pinhoti Trail a major asset to recreation-based tourism in the state. Department of Conservation Commissioner Chris Blankenship says he hopes the new board can work with volunteer groups to provide more shelters and better signage on the trail, which he says holds great potential for an increased economic, social, and environmental impact on the state.
The trail starts on Flag Mountain in Coosa County near Weogufka. Then it winds through Cheaha State Park into Cleburne County before going into Georgia near Piedmont. A spur of the trail leads into Heflin, which provides amenities for hikers who take that detour. Since 2008, the Pinhoti has been connected to the Appalachian Trail, which is the world's longest hiking-only trail.
When we return, we'll tell you about an international piano competition to be held next week in Oxford.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Oxford Lumber. Come visit any of our locations in Oxford, Jacksonville, Talladega, and Roanoke.
18 contestants from 8 countries will arrive in Oxford on Monday for the second annual Rubato Piano Competition being held at the Oxford Performing Arts Center. These pianists represent some of the finest young musical talent in the world, and their performances will be available for local music lovers next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings. The competition is the brainchild of Julio Barreto, OPAC's Music Education Director, who says the judges received 76 application videos from around the world and chose these top 18 to invite to Oxford.
Okay, these competitors comes from all over the world. This competition is open from anyone from Osaka, Japan, or Tokyo, or a pianist playing across the street in our churches. The age ranges goes all the way from 10 years old up to 27, and different age brackets of 10 to 18 and 19 to 27. And this is the only competition for solo piano in the world that offers both jazz and classical music. So we're gonna have a
Barreto says the competition will be awarding $50,000 in prizes to these winners, which is twice what was offered last year at the inaugural program. And he says the exposures they will receive from the competition itself could have a major impact on their careers. Tickets are still available for the semifinals to be held next Thursday and Friday, starting at 6:30 in the evening, and for the grand finale next Saturday, also at 6:30 p.m. To purchase tickets, you can go to rubatopiano.org.
When we come back, we'll give you some safe driving tips that will come in handy as school children and school buses return to our local roads.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Waldrop Manufacturing, metal buildings made right here in Calhoun County.
Law enforcement officials are warning motorists to be careful starting next week as school buses and young pedestrians return to school. Remember that flashing yellow lights on a bus are a warning to slow down because it's about to make a stop. So parents and children may be standing near the side of the road. When the red lights are flashing, cars are supposed to stop at least 20 feet behind the bus or 20 feet in front if it's in the other lane. Even after the bus pulls away, motorists should be on the lookout for parents who may still be standing near the road.
Meanwhile, research from the National Safety Council shows that most of the children who lose their lives in school bus-related incidents are pedestrians between the ages of 4 and 7 years old. They're often hit by the bus or by a motorist illegally trying to pass a stopped bus. A few precautions can go a long way toward keeping these children safe. Don't block the crosswalk when stopped at a red light, because this could put them in the path of moving traffic if they try to walk around your vehicle. In a school zone, when flashes are blinking, stop and yield to pedestrians. Don't honk or rev your engines to scare a pedestrian, even if you do have the right-of-way. And never pass a vehicle that's stopped for pedestrians.
The Heflin Baptist Church is inviting all local football fans to attend a special Gridiron Night celebration later this month at the Heflin Rec Center. Brent Thompson of Heflin Baptist Church has the details.
It's a special night that we've been doing about the past 5 years to kick off not only our school year, but our football season. We'll have our football team, our band, cheerleaders, and student body from Cleveland County to be there for that special event. And we welcome any of you who would like to come and join us for it. It's going to be a great night of worship. Leading our worship on that night is my friend Carson Brown, who's going to be a senior this year at Gunnersville High School. He's a gifted young man, and I know you'll enjoy being a part of the worship time with him. Doing our speaking that night is my friend Pastor Jerry O'Neill, who is a youth pastor at Cove Baptist Church in Owens Crossroads, Alabama, heavily involved with FCA there at the local high school of New Hope, and just is a great communicator of the Word of God, and I know that you will be blessed in hearing him as well.
That program will be at 6 p.m. on August 19th at the Heflin Parks and Recreation Center.
Well, Katie, have you noticed how easy it's been to read the news this summer?
I certainly have. That's thanks to our friend Aiden Ransbottom. Yeah, he's done a great job.
He's an Oxford High School student. He's been our intern this summer, and boy, has he learned a lot.
He certainly has, but we do have to send him back to school, so we'll do so reluctantly. We're really appreciative of it.
We're going to miss him. Great report he gave us last night from Oxford High School on the band. He plays trombone in the band, by the way. Yes. But yeah, we say goodbye. We're glad to have you with us, and maybe we'll see you next summer. Who knows?
And thanks for all you've done.
Yes.
Now we're going to take a turn a little bit to see what that back-to-school weather is going to be like. John Holder joins us now in the EAN Weather Center. John, what's it looking like?
A stormy afternoon across Calhoun and Cleburne counties. We could have more on the way and even more showers and thunderstorms for the weekend. The complete forecast for all of East Alabama is next.
Well, my name is Mike Craven, and we recently purchased an open carport, metal carport from Waldrop Manufacturing. I have an extra car. We have a very small home, very small driveway, and I needed somewhere just to park another vehicle, just out of the weather. And I had been told by 2 or 3 friends that knew we had recently remodeled a home that Waldrops were the people that you need to go talk to. I was in that area one day and I thought, hey, I'll just stop in, and I did without calling, and greeted warmly, well taken care of. It was just, really the whole process was just good from day one.
Before the showers and thunderstorms arrived at mid-afternoon, we had plenty of sunshine and heat. That allowed the temperatures earlier this afternoon to go to 91 degrees, the low this morning at 72. After the storms moved through, temperatures quickly dropped into the 70s, and we had some strong storms out there. A lot of severe thunderstorm warnings. We had damage in Etowah County with trees down on houses and on cars, some injuries up there even, and a 46-mile-per-hour wind gust registered officially at the Anniston Airport just after 3 o'clock this afternoon. So that's out of here for right now. Record high today, 101, the record low at 61. The sunrise now at a couple of minutes before 6 a.m. on your Friday morning, and your sun setting tonight at 7:42. For the rest of the night, things are calming down, but we're going to continue with a flood watch. This is in effect all the way until 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Shady Grove Road in Piedmont, I think we're going to see some more storms tonight. We've got another mass of thunderstorms that could move through in the overnight hours after midnight tonight, so be aware of that. Still warm and muggy, 71 for the nighttime low on Shady Grove Road just off Highway 9 in the north part of Piedmont. Now, as we roll into tomorrow, going to take you out to Peaceburg Road in Weaver. Passing showers tomorrow, especially early in the day. This will be a little bit different. Most of the shower and thunderstorm activity in the state tomorrow will be in South Alabama, but in the morning we could have some passing showers. 88 for the high on your Friday. And as we look ahead to the weekend across East Alabama, Greensboro Drive in Oxford, right off Highway 78 west. A few storms each day of the weekend on both Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures will be in the 90s, and we're going to be looking at the chances for rain right about 50% both days on both Saturday and on Sunday. We'll detail the 7-day forecast now. You'll see high rain chances again tomorrow. That rain chance at about 60%, 40% on Saturday, 50% on Sunday. Keep in mind, most of the shower and thunderstorm activity tomorrow is going to be relatively early in the day, then maybe clearing out in the afternoon. As we look ahead to next week, again, we're going to keep temperatures in the 90s, maybe some 80s coming by the middle part of next week. Nighttime lows staying in the 70s. One cool morning coming up, or cooler, we should say, on Wednesday morning at 66 degrees. But every day, we're going to have a chance of showers and thunderstorms. We mentioned the flood watch, which is in effect for all of East Alabama, including Calhoun and Cleburne counties. That flood watch is all the way in effect. It began at 4 o'clock this afternoon, and that will be in effect all the way until 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. What are we looking at? Rainfall totals about 1 to 3 inches, maybe higher than that. The big deal with the flood watch is not so much the amount of rainfall that we expect to see here in East Alabama, but with the storms that move through this afternoon, it comes down in a relatively short amount of time. 30 or 40 minutes, you could have an inch or so of rainfall. So again, turn around, don't drown. If you see standing water in some locations, especially low-lying locations, don't mess with that, as we're going to be looking at this flood watch in effect through the overnight hours. So we're not done with the rain as of yet. We have another complex of thunderstorms upstream back in Tennessee and further back to the northwest. It's going to drop in here potentially in the overnight hours, and that's going to affect us here in East Alabama and bring us even more heavy rainfall in the overnight hours and during the hours of maybe from sunrise to about 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Coming up next in sports, Chase Robinson going to talk Jax State football next. Chase?
Thanks, John. With 24 days until Jacksonville State taking the field for their first FBS and Conference USA game against UTEP, the Gamecocks were back on the practice field this morning, eyeing their first scrimmage on Saturday. They are 8 days into fall camp, and with a veteran coach like Rich Rod, he has an idea of where the team should be right now at this point of fall camp. Rich Rod says that he sees the team making steps to get better every day.
There's times in practice I do, and then times I get ticked off like, wow, this looks like day one, you know what I mean? So I guess I don't know if I'm ever completely happy. Probably hard to please a lot of times with that, but I think we've made steps every day to get better. What we can't do, and I told the players, we can't repeat the same mistakes we made yesterday or last week now, because we're going to make new mistakes. That happens, and we got to make sure we don't keep repeating the same mistakes.
One part of the offensive style Rich Rod brings is the fast pace of play. Rich Rod and wide receiver Michael Petway talk about how that is something they are focusing on in practice right now to be ready for the quick tempo in games.
Every day you should get a little bit more familiar with what we're doing and our pace of what we're doing, and offensively it's part of our DNA, and our defense understands that too. So hopefully it helps us get in shape, and our tempo can be a lot better, and we'll keep working on it.
Practice, it's moving, it's fast. Just even compared to last year, I feel like it's even faster. We're moving at a much faster pace, so that's really good. It's just only going to make us better. We're going to be in shape. We're just like Coach Richard said, we're going to be the most in shape team this year. I promise you that. I know that for a fact.
We continue our high school football previews tonight as we head to the Creek Bank in Ohatchee to talk some Indians football. Last season, the Indians started the season off 0-7, battling some injuries, and then won 3 straight games to make the playoffs. Chris Finley enters his second season as head coach of the Indians and says to keep the momentum going from last year, they need to keep the good habits they made over the course of the season.
Well, you just take the habits that we formed throughout the year last year, even when things were going south for a while there. We started 0-7 and injuries left and right, and there was a lot of guys that were thrown into the fire. We had Gus Hunter, an 8th grader last year, started on both sides of the ball for us for a couple of games.
Yeah.
But you just try to keep good habits throughout the year, no matter what's happening, no matter how south things are going. We kept good habits the entire time, and it finally started paying off at the end. You can see, hey, if you do the right things, it's going to pay off.
As the Indians look to the 2023 season, and as Coach Finley has been working with the guys in the offseason, he sees consistency in his squad for a year when they only have 3 seniors.
We've only got 2 or 3 seniors, 3 seniors on our team now. But it's just, it's a consistent group. It's a group that comes in ready to work every day. We've got a good leadership group, led by my 2 guys that I brought here today. But they're just always willing to work. They always come, business-like mentality, ready to get work done.
The Ohatchee Indians will open up the season on Thursday, August 24th, for a Week 0 matchup against the Sacs Wildcats. And that's it for sports. Let's head back over to Mike and Katie.
Thank you for watching East Alabama Now Local News.
You can find us here online every weekday evening starting around 6:30 on either Facebook or YouTube. Just go to our video feed and watch the news whenever it's convenient for you. We're working hard to build our audience, and you can help us by liking and sharing these newscasts.
We'll see you back here Friday for your news on your schedule.